Hi, this is Dan Smith of DPS Legal Counsel, and welcome to today's video episode of Legal Scrubs, where I talk about issues of interest to physicians, dentists, nurse practitioners, and other healthcare providers. Healthcare is an art, healthcare is a calling, it's a profession, but running a small independent, solo, small group healthcare practice is also a business. And so if you're a healthcare provider or professional in an independent healthcare practice, you need to pay close attention to business. And so that's what I hope to do by helping healthcare providers, small professional practices operate the right way in the business world. So today's episode is going to be about one of those popular topics for all businesses, all small businesses, and including those involving healthcare, and that is marketing and advertising. How do doctors and other healthcare providers market and advertise not only effectively but ethically? Well, I'm going to be looking today at some of the rules that apply to physicians. Now, the rules for physicians have been put in place by the Board of Medical Examiners in the state of Tennessee. And if you want to look at the rules, you can find them on the website for the Tennessee Board of Medical Examiners. Just go to the little link that deals with statutes and regulations, click on the Regulations tab or link, and you can look through the actual regulations that apply to physicians. And one of those rules, it's actually Rule 0880-02-.13, is the rule dealing with advertising. I want to look at some of the specific requirements or rules that apply to advertising for Tennessee physicians. The first is dealing with just sort of a general overview of what is expected for doctors when they advertise. And if you look at the policy statement in the rule, it makes clear that the overall policy, the overriding policy for physicians when they're conducting advertising is to be truthful, not to be misleading in their advertising, and not to be deceptive. That's pretty easy to state, and in practice you have to just be careful to review all of your advertisements, whether they are on television, radio, print, if it's in a magazine or a newspaper, on the internet, on your website, any place, on your Facebook page, any place where you are advertising your services as a physician. You have to make sure that what you say is not only truthful, but it's not misleading or deceptive. Now, let's look at fees. Can you advertise fees under the Tennessee rules? And the simple answer is yes, you can. You can advertise a fixed fee for particular services. It just has to be clearly stated what the services include for that particular fee. If there are other required services that may be required in addition to the services that are covered by the flat fee, you need to, and those would be charged separately, you need to disclose what those other services might be. You can advertise a range of fees, but if you do that, you have to disclose what factors would be determinative in determining what the actual final fee would be. So if you do a range, you've got to explain how the actual final fee would be determined, what factors would work towards producing what the actual fee might be. Can you advertise a discounted fee and say this is a special for this month, or this is a special for this holiday? You can advertise a discounted fee, but you have to make sure that it's truly a discounted fee and is less than what you customarily charge for that service. And the services that you provide for the discounted fee, the materials, the supplies, everything that's done for that discounted fee are exactly like they would be if this was not a discounted fee. So in other words, if you say it's a discounted fee, you can't change the services in some way to maybe make it more economical for you as a physician. You have to provide exactly the same service, same materials, same everything if you're going to call it a discounted fee. Just makes sense. Can you describe the services that you provide in your practice? Obviously you can, but you have to be, again, truthful, not misleading, not deceptive. And in this regard, I want to point out one thing that the rule addresses, and that is claims that the services that are being provided or will be provided, the personnel that you have providing the services, the materials and equipment that you use in providing the services, you cannot claim that they are superior to other practices, other physicians providing those services, unless you can substantiate that claim. Otherwise, that claim that you would be making would be perhaps misleading, perhaps deceptive. And so if you see an advertising where a doctor is saying, or it's claimed that this doctor is the greatest fill in the blank type of doctor in the world, or world renowned, best in Tennessee, whatever. If you're making a claim of superiority with respect to your services, your personnel, your materials, your equipment, and you cannot substantiate that claim, just don't do it, because that claim probably is going to be viewed as misleading or deceptive. And if you make a misleading, untruthful, or deceptive claim in your advertising, you're setting yourself up for a disciplinary complaint or an action to be taken against you by the Board of Medical Examiners. So marketing is important for doctors. Advertising is great and is important in this modern world. In order to have a successful practice, it's great. Nothing wrong with marketing and advertising. You just have to make sure that it's truthful, not misleading, not deceptive. You can, if you advertise fees, remember the rules we talked about just a few minutes ago. If you advertise services, just make sure you're accurate in everything you say, and pay a close attention to not claiming superiority unless you can substantiate it. Okay, I hope that helps. This is just a little general overview of physician advertising in Tennessee. If you have any questions about this topic or any other topic involving business matters for healthcare practices, please don't hesitate to get in touch. You can check out my website at dpslegalcounsel.com, subscribe for our monthly newsletter, and check out all the videos and blog posts that we have on the website that hopefully will provide interesting and helpful information for you and your practice. That's it for today. We'll see you next time.